Rather Good Coaching presents.
Hello, I'm Karen Adams of Rather Good Limited, and today I want to talk to you about when the best time is to make a change. We're coming up to the end of the year, which means we're coming up to the start of the new year. And traditionally, the new year is a wonderful time to go around making New Year's resolutions to make massive changes in your life. I don't actually think I've often bothered to do this, mostly because I tend to be quite lazy about that sort of thing. And if I'm not actually feeling it, I don't tend to bother trying to set up a resolution or make a change in the first place. This turns out to actually be a surprisingly successful way of looking at change. First, get the enthusiasm to actually make the change. Make sure you really want the change, otherwise you're not going to keep up with it anyway. And then you can start making a change. Just take it slowly and maybe make one small incremental change and then gather momentum. Don't try and do everything at once. Certainly, I've found that's a little bit more successful when I try and change things. That doesn't, of course, mean that you can't do things at the new year. Sometimes it's about when something really starts to bug you. So if you've been thinking about things all year and maybe the holidays have just really brought it to a head, what it is that's bugging you, and that just gives you the momentum to make a start on making changes. One thing to notice is when we get annoyed by the things that are bugging us and decide to make a change, it really helps if we know where we want to go with that change. Like, we don't just randomly start making changes left, right and centre. We just don't randomly try and do the one thing that seems like a good idea at the time. But we actually take a little bit of time to figure out what we want instead of this problem that we definitely don't want. Because when we know what we do want, it's easier to move towards it. So figure out what you do want and maybe then try making smaller steps. Because smaller steps are easier to maintain. I have to say that when I try and make large changes all at once, I tend to run out of steam, run out of enthusiasm pretty quickly. So I have to have that enthusiasm, that interest in going towards a particular destination. I also have to make sure that I manage any disincentive, like I'm not overwhelmingly bored by the very concept of having to do that particular change every single day. And I particularly have to make sure that I don't get bored by that particular change in 2 weeks' time, in 3 weeks' time, that I can keep up the momentum because I'm still enjoying it and I'm still finding it useful. So, we need to figure out what drives us, we need to figure out where we want to go, and we need to figure out the smallest viable step to keep us going in that direction. And any additional action in the direction we want to go, that's just a bonus. We can build momentum when we feel like it, but actually taking small steps, we're always making progress, and that's really useful. So make sure you're always making progress when you want to make a change. Make it when you already feel the enthusiasm. And let me know how you get on. If you want a bit of help with finding that enthusiasm, let me know in the comments below or contact me at rathergoodcoaching.com. Take care. Cheerio.